Hi there. Today I want to chat about how do you start getting to know God? Hi, I'm Rafia Tadekole. Welcome to the next in my series of Walk With Me videos, where I share with you part of my journey with God and hope that it will help you in your journey of life. So I have shared on here about how I got to know God, how I said yes to Jesus. But I guess some of you may be thinking, well, okay, now I've said yes to Jesus. How do I start that relationship with him? I'm going to try and break it into some very simple steps. And I'm going to give you an analogy of meeting a new friend, somebody you've just been introduced to, somebody you want to get to know. The best way to do that is get to know them, have a chat with them, know what they like, what they don't like, maybe part of their life history or their journey in life. And as you know, that is a process, it is a journey. It's the same way that we do it with God. Now, if you have this friend and the only time you met that person was when you're at a party, or you're at a musical gig and it's all fun, but you never really caught them in a quiet state to know actually what's going on underneath, what makes them who they are, and you sharing yours as well. That's how relationships are built. And it's the same way with God. It's just as simple as that. So you're going to say, well, I can't see him. You have him in you since you said yes to Jesus. So, how can you know who he is, what he is? The Bible. I started with the Bible. I didn't read the whole of the Bible. I just picked some specific books. I was guided by some friends, my mother in law, etc. And I quite liked the Psalms because they touch into my own emotions. I like Proverbs. But later in life, I learned that actually those were Old Testament scriptures. The book of John is a beautiful one in the New Testament. John is one of Jesus' disciples, is one that's been thought to be really close to him. And he wrote his own epistle, which is what we call the books in the Bible written by the disciples. He wrote it from a perspective of that love, Jesus' love. And that's a good place to start. So, reading the Bible. Another way, so the Bible tells you what is written about God, what he says about himself, and even what he says about you. The other way is having a conversation, right? Okay. And that conversation is what some people call prayer or some people call meditation. I just call it having a chat with daddy, daddy being God to me. And that conversation could look like, hey, I don't feel great today. Hey, I've got so much to do today. I'm not quite sure what to do. I've got this choice and that choice. What do you think? And it might sound bizarre to you that you think, well, is it going to answer? You get an answer. Usually something drops in your heart that you never thought about before. So it's getting to know what's written about him or what is written about you. So that is his love letter to you. And it's also having conversations with him. And yes, they're the good, lovely times of when you have a dance and a worship with him. But if all you ever did with your new friend was to go partying, you never know them when they have a hangover or when life's been really hard for them. You won't know what's in their heart. And the same thing with God. Worship is great. A worship with church service is great. Be part of a family. Be part of God's family, which is a church, so you get to know more of Him and see how He reveals Himself to different people. So it's really very simple. You want to get to know God, or you want to build any relationship, whether it's personal, spiritual, or even business, then you got to find out about that person, what's already known about that person, speak to that person to get the missing bits and understanding of that person, and share with that person about yourself as well. It's a two-way, it's a relationship, so it's two-way. And yes, you can party and have fun with that person. Okay, so is there a relationship that you want to build or grow or one that's new? Think of that for a minute. And I want you to think, what one thing can I start doing in the next 24 hours to start building that. And that might be send them a text message, or it might be, I need to buy a Bible, or I need to get the Bible app on my phone, or I need to get somebody to help me understand the Bible, or buy a book to help you understand the Bible. The best person to help you understand the Bible is God. He knows what He wrote in His letter. So if you don't get it, go ask Him. All right, that's it for today. And until the next time, keep smiling.